Hey there, it's Sarah Denio from Kind Nest. Today I'm here with Vicki Savini, who facilitates workshops for both children and adults at Kind Nest. Hey Vicki,
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining us today.
I'm so happy to be joining you.
Thanks. Want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am a teacher, a first grade teacher, and I am an intuitive life coach. I am an author. I've authored a book through Hay House, and my last book was 2 years ago. I'll talk a little bit about those. Most of the work that I do, I've worked with children for years from the time I was a teen myself, and I started working with adults about maybe 10 or 11 years ago. I couldn't really ever see the connection between my work with children and adults. I was like, how is this supposed to come together? And then as I grew and opened myself up on my own spiritual journey, and I started writing these books, it suddenly came together. The two roads came together as one. And so my work is really teaching adults how to heal the inner child within themselves and giving children a strong foundation as children. So if there's anything that needs to be healed as a child, it's actually much easier and quicker to heal in a child because they don't have the years of the negative beliefs.
Mm, excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds like really important work. Thank you for doing it for us.
I think it is. I believe that we're all, chosen. We have this little pact that we come into this world with, so to speak. We sign a contract, and we don't really know that we signed that contract until life unfolds. And then life unfolds, and we say, oh, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. Okay. I really don't want to do that. I guess I am doing that. So I'm blessed and thankful that I can do the work that I do, but I will say the universe always teaches me in an experiential way. So everything that I write about, everything that I teach is usually something that I've had to come through myself. A lot of my work these days, especially in the past few weeks, has been on helping people with anxiety and depression, really pulling away from fear and leaning more in towards love. And I do that by teaching people how to heal those toxic beliefs that are deep within them and how to truly love ourselves, because everybody says it, you need to love yourself, right? It's such a cliche, but nobody actually teaches us how. So in my last book, Burn the Damn Cape, I do have it here somewhere. Hold on. You see that? I love that cover. It's so powerful. This is my workshop book, so it's like falling apart. But in this last book, it really was about teaching people, mostly caregivers who want to rescue everyone, why you are a rescuer, what are those toxic seeds that are coming up for you. And then part 2 of the book is a 30-day guide. So every day there's an exercise that teaches you how to love yourself. Today you're going to do this, you're going to practice this. Because as rescuers or caregivers, we often don't put our needs anywhere near the front burner. They're usually in the back of the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So with all of that, what do you think would be most helpful for us in this moment, given what we're faced with today?
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, I was writing a blog article last night, and I literally was saying, oh my God, like 9, 10 days ago, the universe was normal. There was normal chaos. And literally within 3 or 4 days from that 9th day mark, all of a sudden everything was flipped upside down. And we are now getting used to this new norm that we don't know how long this is going to last. And so there's a lot of unknown, which of course brings up a great deal of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do we lean into love? I use a lot of different techniques and skills with my clients. I've been fortunate to do a lot of training and a lot of growth myself. And so I like to pull out of my toolbox, so to speak. And one tool that I have found to be incredibly powerful in the moment when you are feeling the most angst, the most anxiety, the most depression is tapping. So many people know tapping as neuro-linguistic programming. It is basically, I like to keep everything simple. I'm not a real scientific person, so I don't dive deep into all of the scientific principles per se. You can get that online, and I can always send people information, but I like to keep it simple. And so tapping is really marrying your emotional wellness, your emotional body, and your physical response. So what I love about it is that you are working to heal your negative thoughts and your emotions, but you're doing that in such a way where you're tapping in physiologically to your body on pressure points. So there's a little bit of acupressure involved in tapping, and there's a little bit of emotional growth, emotional wellness. So healing the two together. And that's why I think it's so effective in a short period of time.
Excellent.
So
Thank
did
you.
you want to do that?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. What do we do?
So here's what we're going to do. Usually when I'm working one-on-one with somebody, we're looking at what is our most pressing issue. So if I could, can I use you as my sample? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and put yourself back into your body. Get out of our head, taking that deep breath, and just scan your body for feelings and emotions, and find the knot in your body. And once you find that, what is the thought that's attached to that knot? What is the most pressing issue that is causing this knot in your body and making your head spin? Do you have one?
Am I supposed to share it out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought it was an internal exercise. Sorry.
No.
So what I'm noticing, it took me a little bit to scan around, and then I'm noticing it's around here. It doesn't necessarily feel like a knot just yet, but I'm feeling a sensation here, and it feels there's something about time and trying to get things done and balancing right now, balancing time and resources. And
so you would say you don't feel balanced, right? So you feel a bit of an imbalance, like uncomfortable in your own skin at times, or your energy feels
I feel like my energy is being drawn in various directions.
okay.
So it's yeah, I wouldn't have said that I don't feel comfortable in my skin necessarily. I guess that would be a way to say it, but it's more like I'm feeling drawn all in various places, and I could feel it's an upward moving energy of over here and over here. And so trying to balance that.
Could we say scattered, even though I'm feeling scattered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that gives us a very uneasy feeling, because we feel like almost like Chicken Little, right? The sky is falling and you're running all over, like which do I do first? And I think it's fair to say that many people are feeling that way right now. I said that about 9 days ago, everything was fairly normal. And now here we are 9 days in, and we're realizing this is real. This is really happening. So I think that is a great point to start with. I'm feeling scattered, even though I'm feeling scattered. So when we do tapping, there are certain points, and I'm gonna actually take my sweater off so I can show you all of them. And we're gonna do this together. The first one I want to show you, I usually teach my first graders this one first. You can teach kids this as well. There is a children's book, and I can't remember the exact name. I wish I had it with me. It's downstairs. Gorilla Thumps and Monkey something. I can't remember, but it's by an Ortner. That's the last name. And they make tapping really easy for children. So the first point I show my kids is called the karate chop. So like right here on your hand, right? So you're gonna just take your hand and hold it up. I usually recommend 2 fingers. Sometimes the kids like to do an actual karate chop, and that's fine, you could do that. But you just wanna tap gently. You don't wanna be too light, you don't wanna be too hard. You just wanna get a sensation in your body. And generally, just from doing this, your nervous system automatically starts calming down. I don't know the scientifics behind it, but I like to think about this like when my son was a baby and he was upset or he was crying or he was nervous. You know, we all hold that baby and we pull them up, right? And we start tapping or we start rubbing or we start bouncing. Do you ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
So naturally, we are tapping to calm our nervous system, but we just don't know that. So this is a point, like I always tell adults or children, wherever you are, if you're feeling nervous, once you know the process about tapping, you literally can just do this and tap it out. You don't have to go through all the points. That's like your quick fix, okay?
Okay.
So let's start with the karate chop, and we're going to do the setup statement. A setup statement talks about your most pressing issue. Even though I feel scattered.
Even though I feel scattered.
I deeply and completely love and approve of myself.
I deeply and completely approve of and love myself.
Right. So most times when you're doing tapping, it's taught, and I think they say, I deeply and completely accept myself. For me, when I'm teaching tapping, I always like to say, I deeply and completely love and approve of myself, because that's what we're always healing. We're always healing that innate need to have approval from someone. We need our own approval. And we're always going to be better off when we love ourselves, okay? So you can stop tapping. I know it feels good though. We're gonna start with the regular points. I'm gonna walk you through them. So you can start with karate chop whenever you're doing this, and then you're gonna move through your body to send the sensation through all the different parts of your body. Each point that we're going to tap is actually associated with different parts of your body. So you had said you felt something in this area. I can't remember exactly which point that was. I would have to look it up for you. But when we get to a certain point, you might feel a relief from that because we're tapping that point. Okay. So it's always interesting to be in tune with your body when you're doing this. Through tapping, you start with your setup statement, your most pressing issue. And you go through and you say, even though I feel this, I deeply and completely love myself. And then you talk it out with yourself. So we're going to complain a little bit about this feeling. We're going to really talk about what this feeling feels like. It stinks. I don't like it. You know, all those things. We're going to really say that. And then we're going to start switching it. We're going to turn our thoughts around. And we're going to start supporting ourselves and loving ourselves. And so you'll see that in this journey. So let's start with karate chop again. Even though I feel scattered.
Even though I feel scattered.
I still deeply and completely love and approve of myself.
I still deeply and completely love and approve of myself.
Now you're going to go to the first point, which is between your eyebrows. You can take your two fingers from each side and you go right in here, or you can do just one. It's the same result. I always like to do two. I have a thing with balance. This feeling of scattered is not good for me.
Do I say that? Okay. This feeling of scattered is not good for me.
Now you're going to go to the side where your temples are. I feel like I'm running in different directions.
I feel like I'm running in different directions.
Now you're going to go under your eyes. I never know which way to go first.
I never know which way to go first.
And now you're going to go under your nose, above your lip, and I only use one finger for this. I'm running around like a crazy woman.
I'm running around like a crazy woman.
Now you're going to go down to your chin. And I'm not sure I'm meeting anyone's needs at times.
And I'm not sure I'm meeting anyone's needs at times.
Then you're going to go to your collar bones. With the kids, this is called gorilla thump. And you're just going to tap just below those bones. I really don't like how this feels.
I really don't like how this feels.
Now you're going to go under your arms about 2 inches down from your armpit, kind of where the bra line would be if you're a woman. And you crisscross and give yourself a hug.
Okay, like this?
Yep.
Okay.
It's hard for you to see. Try and get up there. And you tap and you continue. I do not like this feeling.
I do not like this feeling.
Then you're going to go to the top of your head. Although I know I can manage this.
Although I know I can manage this.
And then you're going to go back. So now if you just tap with me and watch so I don't have to give the direction each time. This is definitely difficult,
This is definitely difficult,
but I can do it.
but I can do it.
There's no challenge I can't handle.
There's no challenge I can't handle.
So what? This is my new norm.
So what? This is my new norm.
I'll learn a new skill.
I'll learn a new skill.
I'll learn how to balance differently.
I'll learn how to balance differently.
I'll develop in a much different way.
I'll develop in a much different way.
And ultimately, I'll be better for that.
And ultimately, I'll be better for that.
Now just put your hands in your lap and take a deep breath in. Get into your body again. And when you go to that space that you felt that cloud or that heaviness before, you want to ask yourself if it feels lighter to you. Does it feel lighter?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what I forgot to do is usually in the beginning I say on the scale of 0 to 10, can you tell me how intense that feeling is? So if someone says an 8, at the end of that I would go back and say, can you tell me the intensity of that feeling now? If it went down to a 6, we would keep going. We would keep tapping because they might have to still get more of those negative emotions out. You know, like, and it's okay to swear. I won't do that on this video, but some people really like, they got to really get that out.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You get it out. I hate this. I don't like the way this feels. I wish this never happened. Like, it really, you got to get it out. And then you go back to turning it. I deeply and completely love and approve of myself. And when you're not moving on the scale, if you're up on an 8 and it's hard to get down, it's because you're not telling yourself enough. I deeply and completely love and approve of myself. Tapping works because no matter what's going on in our lives, the fear that's coming up is connected to a negative, toxic belief that we started back in childhood from birth to 7. We're just regressing mentally and emotionally, and we don't even know that. We're turning back into that little child, even though we still look like an adult. And so we have to reparent ourselves. And this is a great tool to do that, to reparent in the moment. It really is.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So if someone's watching this and their feeling when they check in with themselves isn't scattered, would they simply replace your guidance with whatever their sentiment was?
Yes,
and still say the same things as they're moving through? Okay.
Yeah. So a good rule of thumb, a pattern, so to speak, is in the very beginning to scan your body like we did and ask yourself, how intense is this feeling? 0 to 10. And then write that down on a piece of paper. It's 10, it's in my chest, it's 10, it's in my stomach, whatever. And then you repeat this statement, and I would write this down too. Even though blank, even though I feel scattered, even though I feel scared, even though I feel fearful, I deeply and completely love and approve of myself. So that would be your setup statement. And then as you go through the points, and you can tap here for as long as you want, it'll work. And then you go through the points and you get all the feelings and the emotions out. And then you want to keep going back. When you start to feel insecure from any of those things you're saying, you want to say, but I deeply and completely love and approve of myself. We didn't do that because we're going through so quick.
Yeah.
And the more you say that, the more you're resetting yourself, the more you're reprogramming. That's why it's called neuro-linguistic programming. You're reprogramming your mind to say, I've got this. I've got this. Like, what is my deepest fear? Let's grab that fear. Let's pull it out. I can do this. I can handle this. I can reach out. I can reach in. I can do what I need to do. And that's what you're ultimately teaching yourself. And you just keep going in. Just keep going inward and inward and inward. And sometimes you start with a setup statement like, I feel scattered. And then you start to realize it's not that I feel scattered. What I really feel is inadequate. And so then when you get to that deeper stuff, then you're like, okay, I'm tapping on this bad boy now. Even though I feel inadequate, I know through my history, I can overcome. And so then you get to the really good stuff, and that's how you truly release those demons. When I talk about negative core beliefs, I like to liken it to, we each have a garden, our garden of life. And we all know, if you do any kind of gardening at all, that when a weed gets in your garden, it is not easy to get rid of at all. I don't think ivy is a weed, but when I first moved into my home, there was this ivy plant growing through my beds in the back, and I was trying to get rid of it. And I'm telling you, that thing, it just was all over the place. I could not get it out. And at that time in my life, I was digging deep to release my toxic beliefs. So I was like, okay, universe, I got what you're doing here. And so I thought I got all this ivy out, and I planted my beds, and it looked great. And I was like, this is a brand new, fresh start for me. And probably like, I don't know, 3 months later, I saw a sprout of ivy. And I was like, are you kidding me? But that is reflective of these toxic seeds in our lives. They're planted when we're very young, 0 to 7. We don't even know. Our parents don't plant them on purpose. It just unfolds that way. And then they keep sprouting up in different areas of our lives, in our work, in our relationships, just in life in general. And so every time you feel discord in your body, it goes back to this deep core belief, and there's one of 5. So it's like that ivy, it just keeps coming up. And you have to just keep removing it and using different tools. I even took an axe to that ivy.
Yeah. Awesome. What a metaphor.
I like to give visual pictures.
Yeah, awesome. Well, this has been great. Such a powerful, simple and powerful resource. So thank you so much for sharing it with us today.
Thank you for letting me share, because I think we all need a little reprieve, especially during this time, and having something extra in your toolbox, we can all use that.
Excellent. And through kindness, you'll be offering a tapping workshop coming up soon, in addition to a workshop that focuses on helping to unearth those toxic seeds, as well as mindfulness for children. We got a lot of great things coming up. So for anyone who's interested, they'll be seeing you soon.
Yes. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you all.
Yeah. Thanks, Vicki.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.